Deep beneath the Russian steppe, in a bunker whose exact location remains classified to this day, a machine has been running since 1985. It has no name that Russia officially acknowledges. In the West, we call it Dead Hand. Its job is simple. If it detects that nuclear bombs have detonated on Russian soil, if it measures the seismic shock, the radiation spike, the electromagnetic pulse, the sudden silence from every military command post, and if no living human sends it the abort code, it will launch every nuclear missile Russia possesses, automatically, without orders, without a finger on any button. As of March 2026, this system is still operational, upgraded, and according to Russia's own Strategic Missile Forces commander, fully functional. This is not science fiction. This is the most terrifying weapons system ever built, and almost nobody talks about it. To understand why this machine exists, you have to go back to 1983. The Cold War is at its peak. The United States has just deployed Pershing II ballistic missiles in West Germany. Missiles capable of reaching Moscow in as little as 6 minutes. 6 minutes. That's less time than it takes to watch a YouTube ad. Soviet military leadership faced a nightmare scenario. What if America launched a decapitation strike, a precision nuclear attack designed not to destroy Russian cities, but to kill Soviet leadership, the president, the defense minister, the generals, before any of them could give the order to retaliate? In nuclear strategy, this concept has a name: launch under attack. And the Soviets realized something terrifying. If their leadership was killed in the first 10 minutes of a war, Russia might lose the ability to respond at all. And if Russia cannot respond, America might actually believe it could win a nuclear war. Verified fact: the decapitation strike fear, confirmed by Soviet engineers. The Pershing II missile's flight time from West Germany to Moscow, approximately 6 to 10 minutes. Soviet planners calculated that a coordinated first strike could kill top command within minutes, leaving no human alive with authority or ability to order retaliation. This fear directly drove the creation of the perimeter system. Source: Valery Urenich, perimeter engineer, confirmed in Wired magazine interview and David Hoffman's The Dead Hand, 2009. So, in 1974, a team of Soviet engineers began working on a radical solution, a system that removes the human equation entirely, at least in the worst-case scenario. Development was completed in 1985 when the system officially entered service. The Soviets called it perimeter. The West would eventually call it dead hand. And for 2 decades, even Russia's own field commanders didn't know it existed. Here is exactly how perimeter functions, confirmed by multiple Russian generals and engineers who worked on the program. The system operates in 4 stages. Stage 1: dormancy. During peacetime, perimeter is switched off. It is not a machine constantly scanning the horizon for threats. It must be manually activated by a senior military official, the president or defense minister, during a period of escalating crisis. This human hand is required to turn it on. Stage 2: monitoring. Once activated, perimeter begins scanning data from a nationwide sensor network. It measures seismic activity, radiation levels changes, atmospheric pressure changes, and electromagnetic pulse readings. But its most critical function is simpler. It constantly asks a single question: can I still communicate with the general staff and the Kremlin? Are my commanders alive? Stage 3: decision. If the sensors detect nuclear detonations and communication with leadership goes completely dark, and if no human inside the bunker sends an abort signal within a defined window, the machine reaches a conclusion. Russia has been decapitated. Leadership is destroyed. No human can give the order, so the machine will give it itself. Stage 4. The command missile. Perimeter does not directly launch nuclear warheads. Instead, it fires one specialized rocket, the 15P011 command missile, fitted with the 15B99 radio warhead. This missile launches and climbs to high altitude, then flying the entire length of Russia from west to east, transmitting a single unjammable radio signal to every missile silo, every mobile launcher, every nuclear submarine within range. Launch now. And they do. In 1984, the system was tested. A command missile launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome successfully transmitted the launch authorization to an ICBM silo in Kamchatka. The ICBM fired and struck its test target in Kamchatka, over 7,000 kilometers away. The machine worked perfectly. Now, here is where perimeter stops being a Cold War history lesson and becomes something deeply relevant to the world right now. In July 2025, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev published a public message referencing Dead Hand by name, calling it the fabled Dead Hand, in a direct warning to President Trump amid escalating US-Russia tensions over the Ukraine war. This was not rhetoric buried in a classified document. This was a reference to an automated doomsday system published on social media by one of Russia's most senior officials. Viktor Yesin, a man who commanded Russia's strategic rocket forces in the 1990s, confirmed in a recent interview that perimeter is, quote, functioning. It has even been improved. But what does improved mean? Russia's 2018 nuclear doctrine updates included integration of new early warning radars and, according to several analysts, possible linkage to hypersonic delivery systems. A dead hand designed for 1985 missiles may now be connected to Sarmat ICBMs, missiles that travel at 25 times the speed of sound. Key data: Russia's current nuclear arsenal, 2025, military.com FAS verified. Total nuclear warheads, approximately 6,267, largest arsenal on Earth. Deployed strategic warheads, ICBMs, SLBMs, bombers, approximately 1,700 actively deployed. Deployed tactical warheads, approximately 1,600, all linked to perimeter according to Russian sources. Command missile used by perimeter, modified SS-17 15P011, transmits unjammable launch codes. Perimeter entered service January 1985, confirmed still operational 2011, General Sergei Karakayev. Latest public confirmation of upgrades, Viktor Yesin, Strategic Rocket Forces, 2025 interview. And here is the deeper problem. Perimeter was engineered for a bipolar world, two superpowers, two clear command structures, two rational actors who both understood the system's logic. Today, 9 countries have nuclear weapons. 3 of them are actively involved in ongoing conflicts. 2 have no equivalent of a dead hand. 1, North Korea, may be developing something similar with no transparency whatsoever. The machine built to prevent Armageddon could become the trigger for it, if it is ever switched on during a crisis that cascades beyond the control of any human being. And according to Russia's own officials, it is still there, still running, still waiting. Perimeter is not a conspiracy theory. It is not fiction. Its existence has been confirmed by Russian generals, by the engineers who built it, and by the government that continues to operate it. Its chief engineer, Valery Yurenich, described its purpose in a single sentence that has stayed with me since I first read it. No matter what was going to happen, there would still be revenge. That is the doctrine behind this machine. Revenge guaranteed. By physics, not by people. The question isn't whether Dead Hand exists. It does. The question, the one that should keep every nuclear strategist awake at night, is whether a semi-automated retaliation system designed in 1974 for a two-superpower world, for the political logic of the Cold War, still makes sense in 2026. A world with 9 nuclear powers, active wars, proxy conflicts, AI-integrated early warning systems, and hypersonic missiles that reach their targets before any human can react. In our next episode, we are going to examine the war that happened, the war that reshaped the Middle East, the war that started with a missile strike on an Iranian consulate in Damascus and ended, at least temporarily, with an American ceasefire announcement posted on social media. The Israel-Iran 12-day war of June 2025. What actually happened, what it means, and where it's going. Because as of the day you're watching this, it is not over. If this gave you something that the mainstream news didn't, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with one person who you think needs to understand the world they live in. This channel exists for one reason, to tell you what's actually happening, backed by data, without the spin. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp,